Given the diversity of Alzheimer's and dementias, is there a standard treatment protocol for Alzheimer's?
I think there is kind of a standard way to approach treating patients, but after that, it's very individualized to the person who has the illness. So pretty much everyone should be on medication. But depending on their severity of illness, they may need different types of brain exercises to stimulate different parts of their brain, depending on the part of the brain that the Alzheimer's is affected. They may need exercise, they may need lifestyle modification depending on the parts of their lifestyle that needs to be modified, if they need more physical exercise, for example. So it really depends, but there is a baseline that everybody gets a certain number of medications as a rule.
Okay, so it's three-pronged.
Yes.
Medication, right, and one or more.
Yes.
Any risk to, I'll call it medication cocktails?
Absolutely not. Yeah. I think right now we don't have a single cure. We don't have a cure for Alzheimer's. So everything we're doing has to be cocktail approach to address all the different areas of the brain that are being affected. If you think about HIV, we don't have a cure for it, but we have very good cocktails of multiple drugs that work to keep the person stable. And that's kind of how I think about Alzheimer's right now, is that we have to have a cocktail approach until we have a cure.
And very briefly, so the types of drugs, one keeps the plaque, what do? They keep the plaques from growing and then keep the brain functioning?
Yes,
okay.
One type of drug helps to keep the amount of chemicals between the parts of the brain that deal with memory at a good level. And another type of drug keeps the nerve cell healthy longer. And those are the two kinds of major drug combinations that are used for keeping Alzheimer's patients stable.
And do you use any natural supplements as well? Because there's some natural things that can also help?
Yes, there are many natural supplements that are helpful, basically all the antioxidants, anything that you can think of in a Mediterranean diet or in diets that have a high level of curry, like Indian diets, are helpful for keeping the brain healthy. So there are supplements there that can be used. Unfortunately, the supplement industry is not as well regulated, so we're not clear if we're getting what we think we're getting. So, but there is a role for supplements.
Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
So supplements, so medication, and then brain stimulation. And what is that real briefly?
So that's brain stimulation is the use of, so there are brain exercises where you work one-on-one with a speech therapist, a psychologist to improve those parts of the brain. And then there's also brain stimulation, which is currently approved in the US for treating depression. It's used off-label for treating Alzheimer's. That's the research I've done work on.
And are those electrodes?
No, it's just using magnetic stimulation to help increase activity in certain brain circuits. And that's been approved in Europe and in Israel for treating Alzheimer's.
And how come it's not approved here?
Because they're still doing studies, and sometimes the US lags behind a little bit.
Can somebody go internationally to get it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so three aspects to it, and then we always talk about patients whenever their doctor gives them a prescription or a protocol to question every one in terms of asking for the rationale so that they fully understand it. Is that critical to do in this case as well?
I think so. I think because you're committing to a course of taking things for quite some time until a cure becomes available, and you need to know the reasons why. And one of the common problems is patients they don't notice any improvement. They're looking for improvement or change, and they may not notice that. And so until they understand the rationale, which is that this slows things down, they may then stop taking the pills.
Interesting point. So should people expect improvement, or are they just expecting not getting worse?
It depends on the kind of dementia. If it's Alzheimer's, if you can keep things stable, then that's 90% of the battle. If it's something like vascular dementia from strokes, then you can actually hope to prevent problems and maybe even improve. I would say about 10% of my Alzheimer's patients, and sometimes more, depending on where we catch the illness, improve. So, but it's still a smaller percentage.
Got it. All right. Simple question, lots of complicated details with regard to the protocol, but thank you.
Thank you.
If you like what you just saw, come to our website. We have many more videos with Dr. Devi. You can buy her book too, The Spectrum of Hope. Here's mine. It's all dog-eared because there's so much important information in it about the new learning and understanding about Alzheimer's. And do me a favor, do that social thing. Let other people know about these very important videos. Come to our website, bottomlineinc.com.